As you can see, the oh yeahs are rolling in. And what we'll do is get to the first question right now. Derek, it looks like this one's going to be for you, from Aaron. It says, what's the best way to juice it? Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
What's the best way to what? Juice?
No, I like said, I said, yeah. I said, how are you doing? I know you were sick last week. Feeling a little bit better?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm feeling way better this week, yeah. Back to normal.
Great. So that's like good news for everyone here. I'm also back from Network Empire certification, so I'm in the confines of my comfortable office. So this is going to be a regular blowout simulation webinar. I know last week we're a little sporadic. We were at the pool bar doing it, so we're back to normal in our normal situation this week. So Aaron says, what's the best way to juice up the PA or properties in a DAS stack? Know of any service providers for that, or just refer to the lists in the FB group?
Well, one of the good way I've been testing it is just using PBNs from different Black Hat World kind of services, and or even links in any of those kind of forums, so you can get some pretty good trust flow with like maybe, I think there's like 10 posts for $100, or you can test those kind of different things, which are really good. Or I use Black Hat links, and I go with their high PR comments, which are usually 99% no follows, so you're not going to hurt yourself, but you're going to increase the page authority very well. So it's I think that's probably the safest method for most people. So give that a shot.
Or even a safer method could be just to put some PBNs at it, you think?
Well, I mean, the Black Hat links is going to be 100% no follow, so it's
right. We don't want to promote anything on here, Derek, because we haven't vetted it out or anything. So anything with Black Hat in it, I know you're using it, but your experience. But
yeah,
I was
telling them what I use. So
right. But what you use, everyone's going to go out and try to use. Guys, don't go out in bad neighborhoods. Derek knows his way around. He's got a bodyguard with him doing it.
Yeah.
So
people selling links out of their jacket, it's kind of
right. Exactly. Put PBNs at your DAS stack, and that's going to be good to go. So next question is, let's see what we got here. Do you use pictures in pictures when doing your free video analysis to clients? No, I do not. So quick answer to the questions. It says, any suggestions about targeting local neighborhoods in a large city? I guess I don't understand. Maybe I always think that the questions are more complex and I'm answering it pretty simply.
Yeah, it could just be, they could just be trying to target, like, maybe ranking the same page for multiple neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And usually all you need to really do is just have that, like, say, near neighborhood or serving this area, whatever, just kind of like almost like in a list format at the end of your posts or your page. And that's usually enough to help it rank, because those neighborhoods are very non-competitive, but you just need to have the keyword at least once on the page, so that's more than enough usually.
Great. The next is a statement. It says, Cotton and Derek, I missed you guys. I can't go 1 week without your bomb-dropping awesomeness. Well, thank you. It says, non-SEO question, but do you own Photoshop on these assimilation posts? Graphics always look awesome. Yes. I could teach a course on Photoshop. I do everything myself. So, yes.
You did it almost professionally, didn't you?
Yeah, kinda. It's a hobby. I'm going to be honest with you. Making the graphics for assimilation is very relaxing to me. So it's just kind of a hobby that kind of I unwind down, and I like finding a lot of fun. So next question is, hi guys, I have Wirecast a client video into YouTube live about a week ago. Ranked #1 in YouTube for the keyword, but not yet indexed in Google for any of the keywords. Is this typical or is something wrong? Oh.
What? Doesn't even make sense. Okay, he's ranking #1 in YouTube, but not on Google.
The video section, right.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube is a completely different animal than Google, right? So just because it's ranking, I mean, if it's ranking #1 in YouTube, it's going to help eventually, because it's going to have you're going to have a lot more engagement, and then your engagement rank is going to go up. But you still have to send some, start sending some PBNs or whatever your choice of, like DAS or whatever, to get those ranking and responding in Google. So it's just another website from there.
It's also a very good sign if your video is #1 in YouTube over the first 24 to 48 hours. So at least that means that Google likes it. And just as Derek said, you just got to keep pushing it up. The next question is, Cotton. Greg said you're the best person to ask for this. Your site, cottongrammar.com, you have inner pages targeting different cities. Do you build social properties for each of these, and then do you send PPN to each of these properties? Yes. In simple terms, yes. I treat every city page as if it was its own website. Okay, we got yeah, baby, woo, oh yeah. It says right here. Don Parker says, getting ready to purchase my first domains. Do I need to purchase the privacy, web development, etc. upsell features, or should I just go basic domain purchase? This is for a future money site.
I mean, I usually get the privacy, but I mean the web development, all that stuff that's depending on if you have a host or not. And like, I mean, most of us all have our own our own servers, so we're going to host it somewhere else, right? So we're not going to buy any of this upsell features. But using privacy is usually pretty. I usually use it, but unless it is my own money site and I'm pretty transparent about who owns it, and I'm not some kind of alias or whatever, then I'll skip that whole $10, $12 a month or a year fee. So, what about you, Con? Same thing, huh?
Yeah, you know, I mean, if it's my main money site that I'm ranking #1 in cities for, I really don't care.
Yeah.
But generally, you know, 90% of the time, I just go ahead and spend the money on the privacy, or you could just go to namecheap.com and buy it, and privacy's free.
Yeah, same with 1&1, I think. And
right. So you could just find somewhere that you're going to buy it that has it free. Then you really don't have to worry about the extra money if you're on a tight budget. So I just am partial to the GoDaddy interface because it's what I'm used to. So sometimes I just pay the $7 just to keep all my sites there. Yeah. Next question is a lot of oh yeahs then from Mary. It says, client getting question. I have a prospect that is a $150 million a year company competing against $1 billion companies for business in top search spots, looking for a hot button that they won't be able to resist other than lost revenue. Or is that the end all of hot buttons? I'm meeting with the director of marketing, and this isn't my normal mid-market company president that I usually deal with. The short answer to that, Mary, is no. I have several things. I'm really not comfortable at this moment because we haven't really went over the local stuff. If you want to reach out to me tomorrow in a personal message, I'll be more than happy to show you some of the things that I use with corporate clients. I don't know if it's appropriate to go over with now. It would be complicated for people, but not you, because I know the type of people that you're dealing with. Lost revenue is always a good one, but I do have one nuclear bomb that I do use for big, gargantuan Fortune 500 companies that would be too confusing and too lengthy to get into right now. But if you want to reach out to me, or if any of you do, you know, if you run into this kind of stuff, just message me, and I'll do my best to try to help you with that. So the next question. Does the web discovery form come with Director's Cut website, or do you have to add the form in there? No. No, the discovery form was created by myself back about 15 months ago, and the name's kind of taken off. It can be used anything that captures information about your client. I started out using Wufoo, now I use Gravity Forms. So unfortunately, you'll have to create your own discovery form with your own questions that suit what you feel is most important to ask your client, and you're going to have to install that on your client. So no, unfortunately, the website does not include that. And we got Stephen Floyd sending you a message, Derek. You seen that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. one from Patrick. He says, hey all, I have someone that set me up as an admin for the Google Webmaster Tools. This was a prospect from last year. And when I checked his site at the end of the year in Google Webmaster Tools, it was not showing any external or internal links in Google Webmasters, although clearly has these. There is no manual penalty, although looking at the stats, the site looked massive. It's been 3. I already know this, and Derek and I ran into the same thing. I have always been terrified of webmasters until about 3 or 4 months ago. So
when I fixed it for you.
and then Derek and I was looking at my webmasters, and what happens is I had logged in under the HTTP. No, I logged in under the www. I don't have a www. So when we entered in the HTTP, all the links showed up. So Patrick, make sure, I'm sure it's that simple. You have to use the exact extension that your website's built on for them to pull the links from it. So that's
it's better just to add both to be safe, you know.
Right. So if you don't have both, just add that, and that will cure you up. So next question is, what does it mean if a domain has a -1 PR? Derek, I'll let you handle that easy one.
Yeah, well, I mean, in reality, it means nothing anymore, but it used to be that it was penalized. So if you had -1 is obviously bad, but I mean, most of the time it's just NAs or not available, and those are the ones I usually like to buy when I buy PBNs and stuff like that. So -1s, that's usually, I think a lot of the registers, or like Register Compass and etc. like that, they should just show NAs as -1s and stuff like that too. So you just have to double check if it is. The actual PR bar doesn't show a -1; it just shows 0, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, you and I agreed to the same thing. A negative PR is just a PR 0.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what that means. Next question is from Jason. He says, hey, Cotton, thanks for everything. My son's daycare has a ton of locations. They stink at ranking, and their website is poor. No mobile also. I reached out to the director, and she stated corporate is having someone redo their website. Any suggestions on how to get further in the door? I asked her if she could get me an email to corporate, and then I could do a video overview of how they suffer for not showing up in the SERPs. Well, you've already got an inside. You've already got someone that has an inside to the company. If she doesn't want to give you the email address, you could also go to, I'm not sure what webinar, what date it was, where we had Vinny on, where he showed you how to pull up email addresses from corporate companies. I would go and try that. Once you get that, send them a video. One of the things that I want to look at is something that I don't do is I don't spend a lot of time trying to sell people that don't want to be sold. There's a lot of time and energy that I can put in other places. So instead of just don't be that boyfriend, and I'm not saying that you are, that when a girl says no or a girl doesn't seem interested, that you keep coming back over and over and over and over again, trying to find, to make a square fit in a circle peg. It just doesn't happen. So kind of use your brain and just your intuition, and if you see that they're not being very helpful, or if they're being the least bit of resistance, you can always revisit it in a couple months because you're always visiting it frequently. But I wouldn't put a lot of time into it, especially if they're not willing to help you. As far as get an email, because what's going to happen is if you don't have that director of that daycare give you the email, then what's going to happen is she's probably not on your side. It could be possible. And then if you got a hold of the director, she's going to say, what do you know about this guy? And she's going to say, well, I gave him the email, he was bothering me. So make sure she's on your side before you go up higher, because that person at corporate will most certainly ask about your character or how you are from the person that you're talking to right now. And I would put a lot of time into it if they're being resistant. Next question. It says, considering buying the RSS Submit software to push out all the Tier 2 links to RSS directories, is this something that you'd recommend? Is it a good idea to use RSS submissions extensively? Derek, I'll let you answer.
I use it on my Dash stacks, but I don't use it on my actual money sites ever, especially new money sites. There's the quality of some of those directories are just garbage, right? And then if you can filter out and just use some of the really high DA ones, you can probably send it to your money site, but I'd be very careful with that, and that's why I only really send it to it as a kind of an extra juicing option for some of the DAS stuff, or even if you want to continually build links to your PBNs, it's a good option to use for there. It's a good tool though, and so much better now that they have capture support now. So.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question though, Derek, in like all honesty. Do you really believe that you've had any movement surely because you've added RSS to your arsenal?
I don't really get a whole lot of movement out of it, but it's going to help water down the anchors, right? So then I can start using my anchor text a little bit more. So
sure, but wouldn't you just probably recommend someone just using Social Explosion instead of that?
No, well, Social Explosion is going to be all no-follow links, so it's not going to actually affect your anchor text ratios. And so, but with RSS submit, there's going to be there's a mix between no-follow and do-follow links. So.
Yeah, the reason is I've just never added it to what I'm doing. I'm not saying it does or doesn't work. It's just I've got a lot of rankings without ever using it. But
I know it's a good tool. I mean, it's just people have to understand that Social Explosion isn't going to help you water down your anchors. So that's
sure. It says next question is, what do you give your clients access to view in Basecamp? Step-by-step updates. I give them access to see everything. Whatever I'm posting in there, everyone can see. So I'm not quite sure if I'm answering your question.
Yeah, you have the option to just keep it within your own team too. So.
Yeah, I like let them see everything. I mean, if I want to talk to my own team, I'm like talking to them personally through emails. I use Basecamp to broadcast messages out, so everyone that's included on Basecamp can actually see it. I don't use it for anything else myself. I mean, if you want to, you can. That's just me personally. The next question is, I'm a newbie and don't know when I should use Social Explosion with vSilo plugin and when to use Social Explosion with vKraken. Also, do we limit this to PBNs or can we do this for our money site? Derek,
okay, well, yeah, Social Explosion can be used on anything and everything. It should be used on pretty much everything. Like, it's just going to help build those authority links to your site. But I mean, with vSilo plugin, it's just that's a website structuring plugin. So it doesn't. It's going to make you posts, and it's going to help. Social Explosion is going to post to those, but it's not. It's not dependent. It's not like, oh yeah, they're great working together or anything like that. It's just vSilo plugin is just going to help you set up your website the way you want it to have the silo structure, right? So where vKraken is actually mass creating posts on an hourly basis or whatever you set it at. So vKraken and Social Explosion are really, really good together. Social Explosion is also going to help turn those posts from vKraken into something a little bit higher quality, because a video or a post that has no social signals to it can easily get hit with Panda or any like another type of penalty like that. And what Social Explosion does is it's kind of like cheap insurance, where it's going to help protect your money site from that too, because social it's a sign of signal. It's a sign of quality, right? So if someone's liking a post, that means that someone likes it, right? And what is Google's ultimate goal is to provide quality content, right? So you can also use it with your PBNs. Yeah, you should be using it with your PBNs and also on your money site. So it's kind of like Frank's Red Hot sauce for me. It's kind of just put that everything.
Wow, that's a little bit too much information there, Derek.
I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. All right, great. Next question from Michael W. Looking for a citation source list with anchor text we can control?
Not likely.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're building your own PBNs and turning them into directories or that kind of, then you can control the anchor text.
Great. Next question is from Chris Lee. He says, Cotton, thanks for the awesome recommendation of using BombBomb. I've been sending out emails every day with due to mobile and BombBomb targeting dentist and HVAC. Got a few responses, no signups yet, but super pumped up and just keep taking massive action. Great work, Chris, man. Keep it up. I know you're going to hit something big here shortly. Brett Sparks says, hey guys, what is your best favorite keyword getting strategy?
One of mine is I like using SEMrush, and then the last keyword tool. So I like knowing what the competition's ranking for, and then it also exposes a lot of opportunities to know what's. A lot of times people are like, oh, I just want this keyword, and then you find out your competition's 80% of their traffic's coming from this keyword you didn't even think of. So that's why I love SEMrush.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I use SEMrush quite a bit, and I use SpyFu sometimes, but SEMrush is generally what I use more than anything, and the last keyword tool also. So those are the tools that I really use to look at keyword stuff. So.
Yeah, and also Google AdWords Planner is if you want something for free, you can just you can plug in your actual web page in there, and it'll actually scrape your page and find related keywords you want to rank for too. So.
Mm-hmm. Great. Next question is from Craig. He says, do you use dropped domains for PBNs? And if so, do you link out before you get them re-indexed? Expired domains? Yes, I do. And it says, if so, do you link out to them before they get re-indexed? Yeah, I like to because when it gets indexed, I want the link to be there. So I'm not really big anymore of like trying to buy expired domains that aren't indexed. But if I had to, I would definitely put the post on there before I tried to get it re-indexed again. So, Derek, do you have any other different advice?
Yeah, like dropped is expired. For me, it doesn't really matter if it's indexed or not before I post on it, but it's good. The juice is still going to count before it's even indexed. Like even if that PBN never did get indexed, the juice will still pass. But you want to double check that, make sure it's getting indexed. Otherwise, it could pass a penalty eventually. So.
Okay, the next question is from Connie. She says, Wyatt dropped a bomb on the tiny URL 301.com dripapps.com tool and the 4815 Webby. I used it right after the Webby, but it's not working now. Has it been taken down? I have no idea. That's Wyatt's website, and it's not part of OMG. If you want to message Wyatt personally and ask him if it's not working or taking it down or whatever, you're more than welcome to. But I have no idea. That was something he was sharing that was on his own website. So let's see here. Next question here. It says, when building a brand new money website for a client, is using a PBN or a new domain better to start with? Also, when you're registering PBNs, do you use fake aliases or enable privacy for protection? If I'm building a brand new money site for a client, I myself use brand new websites, and I let them know that's what I'm doing, and I never use a fake alias. I go ahead and use everything, and I use privacy. So that's like what I do. Derek?
Well, you can go either route. The building a new domain with your actual keywords and branded, whatever, is going to be the probably better the long term, whatever. But if you're really trying to rank fast, Greg and I and everyone else we've bought expired domains and ranked them just fine. They rank faster, obviously, because of the domain authority you're starting with, and you got also lots of branded anchor text. Hopefully, if you're good at choosing PBNs to buy, it can work out really well. But you just got to be careful in some of the competitive national keyword searches. When was it? Almost a year ago, where we all got de-indexed in the electronic cigarette market because of people rebranding and then just having so many rebranded PBNs powering it. So it's just a risk versus reward situation. So
one of the things I want to make people very, very clear when they're dealing with clients also is this isn't a race to get to the rankings. You want to get paid. So if you're absolutely not a master at going out selecting expired domains, and if they're not pressed and telling you, and you haven't oversold yourself, it's just safer just to start a brand new domain and let them exactly know how long it's going to take. The framing of a client and what you tell them that you're going to deliver, how you're going to deliver it, and what it is key in keeping any client happy. So if you're trying to cover your ass because you oversold yourself and told them that you're going to do it in a short amount of time, then obviously you're going to have to go a route that could be less safe. So just if you're going to be safe and if you're new, my advice is to start with something new, and that way if you mess it up, it's yours. You don't have it pulled out from underneath you, just like Derek said that he had with his electronic cigarette site, where he wasn't doing anything wrong, but he rebranded it. Google targeted that niche. They pulled it from out underneath him. He's lost all that revenue. So sometimes you can end up doing twice as much work. So
yeah, but a lot of times you can find something that's just very easily brandable. That doesn't have, might not be a DA60 or whatever, but the DA, DA 10s to 20s, they don't have tons of links, but you're gonna have age on your side, and you're gonna have some good branded quality links to start with. So it's always, if it makes sense, the domain name makes sense, whatever, just and it's not too expensive, go for it.
Okay, the next question is, if a page is ranking page 1, position 1 for City SEO Expert, why would I not rank high for City SEO or SEO City? Because, Brad, generally, City SEO Expert keywords are trophy keywords. There is no traffic behind them at about 95% of any city market. But what it will do is it will, in my mind, there's no theory behind this, but I've ran the gambit on it more than anyone. If you could take an expert, in my opinion, it gives you a little bit more credibility to run up on the SEO, because now you have a number 1 there. So the SEO part of the city is much, much harder than an expert. So you're just going to have to be patient and plug it in. I was number 1 for Chicago SEO Expert for 4 months before I took over number 1. And it took a lot of work. So it wasn't like, oh, it just kind of floated up there. It is a massive haul. And Derek's doing that right now in a major city. Once you get to the bottom of page 1 in a lot of these big, big cities, it is a long stretch to number 1. So
it gets exponentially harder. It's
right.
From 10 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1.
Oh yeah, definitely. So just always remember, there's nothing wrong, because when you're selling for credibility, that expert keyword is very powerful. The plumber, the flower shop doesn't know that SEO expert is a trophy keyword, or that there's generally no traffic behind it. So it can be used as leverage to close deals, and that's what I did with it at first. But you're going to have to get, I like know where you're at, Brad. You're in Houston. Everyone knows there. That is a massive market and a very difficult push all the way to number 1. You're going to have to eat your Wheaties and make sure you get plenty of sleep to take that keyword at number 1 in that city.
Yeah. Plus, I'm ranking over there, so you gotta be careful.
Right. So is Youth Noise. They're on page 1. So when you get up in like Houston, Chicago, New York, Miami, LA, San Francisco, these are when you're literally playing with. You're on court with LeBron James. You're on court with Kobe Bryant. That's the level of SEOs that you're playing up against. So it gets really, really, really hard. So next question is, please mention the nuclear bomb guys. Don't be a tease. That could be 2-3 webinars all together. So we might get to that sometime in June. It says, quick question. I was setting up a client's Google My Business but after filling out the details and clicked continue, a message popped up saying my location could not be found, then I should point the pen manually on my correct address position. And then I couldn't move the pen with my cursor. It was static. So please, how do I get around this? I have no idea what they're talking about. Do you, Derek?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, they're like when you put in your location, that usually it'll try and verify where the actual location is on the map, and if it's incorrect, you can actually drag the pin around.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
did
not
do that.
working. It's kind of hard to diagnose. It could just be your browser or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Try it in Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Come to think of it, I just said I remembered I had to do that in a place in St. Louis. I had to drag the pen over now that I think about it. So, wish we could be of more help. Hopefully that answered your question. It says, is there a way to bulk add feeds in one feed supercharger? Say a list of about 20.
I don't think so, but I think they're working on that.
Okay. Jason said he was loved some Photoshop training. That's a whole nother company that would have to start for that. So no, there won't be any Photoshop modules in there. I think we have a Mike Long Snagit module that we have. It's going to have to hold you over. It says, hey guys, my question is typically how many times do you need to mention the search keywords we want to rank for on each page of the site? Derek.
Okay. Well, it depends on the length of the keyword. So if it's two, like say 2 words, and then I try to keep it under, I think around 2% is max I want to go. But usually like 3, if it's a 3-word keyword, 1% for sure. 4 keyword, you want to go half a percent, and then after that it's just basically diminishing more after that. So the longer the term, usually you just have to have it once, right? So the short terms one, if you have 500 keywords or 500 words on your page, and your keyword is 2, you can have it up to 2%. But you can also note that your main keyword can be in combinations of other keywords, right? So like say Chicago SEO is also part of Chicago SEO services or Chicago SEO expert, whatever. Those actually count as different keywords. So you can, that's a little trick. I hope people recognize what that means. You can actually add a little bit extra on that because it's counting them as different terms.
Great. Next question is there a huge difference in doing corporate SEO from the SEOs that were being taught? Yes. One of the key things is you better have a #1 position in a major metropolitan market. If you're not even ranking somewhere and you don't have verifiable proof, they kind of put you through a very stringent vetting out process. And if you're not ranking nationally somewhere or in some major metropolitan markets, they won't even contact you. So yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about, you know, the SEO expert, city SEO expert to the city SEO. This is kind of like local, and now you're doing corporate. It's kind of like the big leagues of SEO. You better be ranking in the top 2 or 3 in some of the biggest major markets in the United States, or they're just going to tear you apart in like questions and stuff. So they want to make sure that if they're going to be spending a tremendous amount of money, that you're worth the money, and they just don't write out checks to people that are just starting out. So I'm not saying that you know that a deal can't be landed. Anything is possible, but if you're not in a major metropolitan market, I would not even focus on corporate. So generally, they call people and they search out who they want to do business with.
And they're dealing with like 5 to 6 companies at once, so you have to make sure you have a good bid and a reason why, or something to stand out of the competition.
Yeah, you're fighting against 6 other SEOs because they'll take bids from New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, all these other places. And they just might take the #1 places in all of them. So.
And one of the advantages that OMGers have is like when we do videos and for website analysis, and that right away that puts you ahead of like 80% of them. So most other companies don't even think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very true. I've never not been the number 1 or 2 contender for anything I've ever went up against, just based upon video analysis. So normal people just put a couple chicken scratches together, send it over, and it's not as impressive. People do love video, and that's like one of the most powerful tools that you can do in local. So like I said, don't jump up if you're not ready to try to handle corporate stuff. You know what? It's like better to reach out to someone like Derek or myself or someone else if you got a really, really big fish that's a corporate deal, and get some help with it and get 50% of it, than just get crucified and get nothing. So that's just something to think about. It says here, Brad Kellerman says, I was referring from one client to a huge national client. I've not actually had my first discussion other than the introduction where the CEO said, great, I will put you in touch with the IT department. Is there a smooth way to run this dead end? It says, I was referred from one client to a huge national client. I've not actually had my first discussion other than the introduction where the CEO said, great. Basically, he just sent you to the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I've ever got, this is what I typically do, and I am more advanced than a lot of people when it comes to corporate stuff. If I can't speak to the person that's ultimately making the decision, I won't even continue negotiations. Because what happens is now you have third-party people explaining stuff for you. And once again, guys, if like this is a major company, a huge national client, they're going to vet you out. And if you're not ranking in a traffic keyword, they're going to crucify you. So I'm just letting you know there's not a lot you can do if you can't. Even they start questioning me when they go, well, where do you rank at? Well, Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, New Orleans. And then they're like, oh, where else? I mean, there's like always that question. So if I'm not dealing with the person that's making the decision, I know I'm wasting my time. Because then they have to, how can they explain SEO and what I'm doing better than I can? So now I have a third party repeating back what I said that's watered down. And if they don't like me, or if they've got another person that they like better, they're not going to relay the information correctly. So I try to make sure that I get the decision maker. That's who I'm speaking to. That's who I'm communicating with. And if I can't, generally I find that a lot of these deals are a big waste of time. These corporate deals are very, very, very difficult. It can take months to close. I know that my $55,000 a month deal took me almost 4 months of negotiating back and forth and running around to close. So my suggestion to you is find out who's going to be making the ultimate decision from the CEO, whether they're going to go with you or not, and deal with that person. And if he doesn't want to give it to you, he doesn't want to do business with you. You're not meant to close everyone. Next question is if you're building an SEO agency site and your eventual goal was to rank in multiple cities and states, how would you still do Google My Business listing even though you want to do business in more than just one location? I'll let Derek answer that because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about that. There's not enough city SEO maps for me to care anymore, and it doesn't affect my business one bit. So Derek can tell you how to do it, but I myself don't even mess with it.
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of talk about this every single webinar.
Right.
Yeah, it's just you're just going to set up your Google My Business page and using your actual city pages as the Google My Business listing, and then it's just you're ranking them just basically like a website from there. It's just you want to have your NAP on those pages and a custom phone number for each location. Otherwise, you're going to run into troubles. But other than that, I mean, we've kind of beat this horse dead so many times already.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to this. And guys, now it's time, we always have hashtag mind blown. Seems like now we're going to have a hashtag clear. How many of you remember the webinar where we de-assimilated the 7-pack and there were 2 rules. And it's pretty simple. It kind of blankets everything, and it's about 85% accurate. If you're not ranked on page 1, don't build citations if it's a brand new site. If you're on page 1 and you've got citations built, go check your citations. So in essence, if you're not on page 1, don't worry about trying to rank in the 7-pack. And that was just a general term we say. Guys, if you understand this, please, Derek and I desperately want to put this citation questions to bed. It's so simple. If you're ranked on page 1 and you haven't built citations, then start building them. Maybe the top of page 2. Start building them. If you have citations already built and you're on page 1 and you're not in the 7-pack, check the consistency of your citations for NAP. So guys, if this makes sense, so we don't have to address this anymore because it's such a simple formula, please give me a #clear. We're not even going to move forward. We have almost 400 people in the webinar. We need 200 clears. It just gets frustrating, the same questions over and over again, and I almost wish, and I'm going to request to David, he remove my Citation Crusher videos. They're no longer valid anymore. You cannot rank by a citations race anymore. You just can't. If you go out and build 500 citations, that doesn't mean you're going to get in the 7-pack unless there's something open in the 7-pack.
You can rank well in the maps, like the literal actual maps. But
sure.
It's going to be a combination of the blended. It's a blended of organic and the maps. So I mean the reason we're trying to say that don't even focus on citations later on page 1 or top of page 2 is just it's just from experience. How many times where we've messed up or just something inconsistent, and then you have all these citations to deal with. The cleanup is just so messy, you know.
You know what, Derek? What it really comes down to is the reason I hear these questions is that, and I want you to reinforce this with me. People believe that these maps are a shortcut to making money, and it's not anymore. It just isn't. It's just you might as well rank your website organically. And for some reason, they still believe the myth and they refuse to let it go, that they can rank in the maps and they don't have to worry about their website and they're going to start getting calls and making money, and that's just not the case anymore.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So guys, please, that is a myth. That is a myth right now. If you're just going to go and have your website sitting there bare with no trusted authoritative links back to it, if you think you're going to build citations and rank in the 7-pack, unless there's one open, there's only 6 people trying to rank there that have citations, and you're the 7th, then you'll get in. But in a competitive market, I don't know how that could be possible.
So, I mean, you can still use, I mean, don't be like completely scared of them, but I mean, if you control them like Yelp or whatever, like you actually have full control of it, and then that's a property you want to actually rank along with your site. So those are ones that I only have until I don't use any services or anything like that until I'm page 1. But Yelp or any of those, like the really high quality ones that are actually going to bring leads in for your business, those are the ones you should have.
Absolutely, right. And I agree. There's nothing wrong with going out and having trusted DA links coming back to your site, your Facebook, your Facebook business page, your like Yelp, your LinkedIn, things like that. But guys, don't go out and mass build citations and believe that you're going to get ranked in a 7-pack. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is if you don't think it's going to bring traffic, don't bother bringing it. Don't set it up.
Yep. Exactly. So it says, Cotton, Vinny webinar was on February 11th. So that takes care of that question from up there. Let's see here. It says, yeah, Derek, Frank's Red Hot sauce goes good on everything. Oh, Connie agrees with you also. Sharon wants to know what the bomb thing is. Guys, if you're asking questions about previous webinars and you haven't watched them all, I encourage you, if you're brand new, go back and watch every assimilation webinar. That should be almost at the top of your list, along with listening to everything Greg Morrison and, you know, that Iowa over-the-shoulder series that like Fletch and Joe done, you know, go and like do that. Rewatch all the webinars and you'll know exactly what it is without us having to explain it. Here we go. Good news, he's on. Let me see if I can find him so we can just get him to answer the question himself. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him.
Are you looking for Steven?
Yeah. Let me see here.
I think he got bored and left.
Yeah, I think he did too. It's too bad. Yeah. It said, I would like to reach Stephen Floyd about my work on Mobile Apocalypse. Do you have a link to give me for reaching him? I tried Facebook without success. Thank you. Yeah, it's called tagging him in OMG and asking a question. So just go onto Facebook and just tag him and say, question for Stephen Floyd, and tag him, and that is the best way to reach him, and you will more than likely get his attention that way. So next question. Cotton, do you do SEO for e-commerce sites? I received a request for SEO services from e-commerce, but not sure that they would have a ROI out of my service because they sell a lot of low-priced products. Do you prefer instructional sites over e-commerce? I really don't care what it is. As long as it makes me money, I do it. So, you know, if you want to shoot the information over to Derek or I, we'll take a look at it for you and tell you which direction you need to go to. It says, how do you view social explosion on a YouTube video? Didn't know you could.
Yeah, you just need to get RSS feed from your YouTube account.
There you go. Didn't even know, haven't even messed with that yet. So you just heard it. Derek says take the RSS feed from YouTube video and load it up.
Yeah.
It says, how do you know if a site is indexed and how often does Google index? Well, good news is I will go ahead and show everyone. I'm sure everyone can see my screen. Guys, if I want to see if a site is indexed or not, then I will type in this, site, and look, apple.com. See that? Just like that, and hit enter. And as we can see, Apple has 86,000 pages indexed. That's what it says. So it's just this right here, site and the website name. That will let you know if the site is indexed. It will also let you see their pages, of what pages are indexed. If it's a local customer and you want to see what pages that they've got up, this is something that I like probably use this 10, 12 times a day, don't you, Derek?
Maybe not that much. I use info as well. You can show them that one too.
Right. Info.
This is a way to find that if people are usually they're selling like high PR links or whatever, and then you do an info on their domain, and you find it's actually pointing somewhere else. So.
Right. So yeah. So these are like two things that you know right here, but I use it quite a bit if I'm looking for domains or looking at competition or anything else. So hope that answers your question. It says, oh wow, you want to know what? I forgot to hit record until right now.
Oh boy.
Someone says, oops, hit record. So looks like we have an hour of questions and answers gone. It's okay. That's why you should always show up live, man. Always show up live.
You just dropped that huge bomb, and they're never gonna know.
Wow, it's like true. Things, just goes to show the world human. It says, can you rank a cookie cutter real estate agent site like Remax for local terms?
Yes.
Not from, I suppose.
Short answer.
Yeah. It says, Connie says, I did message Wyatt with no response. Well, Connie, the only thing I know to do is I can jump in my car driving out of Tampa, whip his ass, make him put it back up, and go from there. So I don't know what else to tell you. If he doesn't want to get it back up, we can't control what he does. He was
we're not his secretary.
Right, exactly. It says the question earlier on Wyatt's 301 redirect website, it is working. So Luke says, Connie, you're typing in the wrong email address, and I'm going to put it in here.
What was it?
It's right there. I'm going to send it to all. So, Connie, there you go. Looks like we didn't have to bitch slap Wyatt after all. He went ahead and corrected it for us. So, good news. It says, Tiny URL Maker is still working. I just tried it again. Dave said it also. So, great. It says, how do you determine how long it will take to rank a website on page 1? Well, I kind of roll the dice. I check the weather, and there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Derek, how do you normally do it?
It's kind of difficult to tell. Like, I mean, usually it's the first 1 to 2 weeks is where I'm working on a site. It's where I'm gonna know the most about it, because I can look at metrics all day long, like, you know, this site's a trustful 40, DA 50, or whatever, but I don't know how it's going to rank until I actually send a few links to it and see how it responds. So from there, then I can actually gauge on how long. Like, even when a client asks, like, how long is it going to take, I'm like, well, I'm going to be pretty vague on that. It's going to be either between 3 months to a year. You know, it's like. But after you start sending some PBN links to it, and, you know, it's jumping up. You know, it's jumping up every time you post. It's jumping up 10 spots or whatever like that. You know a lot more information about how it's responding and how long it's going to take from there. So, but you got to remember that once you get on the page 1, it's still, everything is, you're going to have like micro movements compared to massive jumps too. So.
I was looking at questions while you were answering it, so
yeah,
it
no idea what I
says,
said. No.
yeah, right. So a lot of times, guys, I have Derek answer. I'm reading questions, and I like know whatever answer he says is right. The next question is, I installed the discovery form on my lead gen site. It is getting 3 visitors a day. I got 1 application a day. Fantastic. It's good stuff. Love like hearing progress with OMGers doing stuff. Next question is Cotton, what's your favorite band? It's very easy. It's called Foo Fighters. It's my favorite band. Derek, we'll just throw you in on this too. What's your favorite band? We were asked.
Don't have one right now.
Come on, Derek. You
not Foo Fighters, that's for sure.
You know? Well, sorry. I love
No, you know, I don't know. Lately, it's just been like I haven't even turned on the radio in like 2 months. It's just ridiculous.
You don't have a favorite band. I mean, you can't even name one.
No, I mean, I'm big into like old school like grunge still, but, you know, like Nirvana and Soundgarden and stuff like that.
Well, then how can you not like Foo Fighters if Dave Grohl comes from Nirvana?
I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like his singing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So there we go. So hopefully that.
There is an official OMG playlist. I do put that together for everybody.
Guys, I think we've got a stowaway from China that has jumped on this ship.
Hijack the webinar.
We have a China hijack. A Chinese pirate. We have a Chinese pirate on here.
Hashtag pirate.
Guys, let's do it. Hashtag Chinese pirate. We have Mike Long on right now. Been in China. He just pirated the webinar. Hashtag Chinese pirate.
I'm going to post, I am just, since anybody's musically challenged, I'm going to repost the official OMG playlist. Actually, I was talking to Matson Magleby, he's an OMGer who was in China with me and Liz, and he was telling me that he wakes up every morning to the official OMG playlist. So I'm gonna post that. Yeah, I focus on that. It's actually the whole playlist that me and David Mills used to share all the way back in the day when we were actually like pre-formulating OMG. So I'm gonna put it up as a new post here for everybody. Just right below the assimilation webinar. You guys can bookmark it and stuff like that. And of course, the best band ever is Metallica.
Mike, what do you think about all these hundreds of Chinese pirates? Hashtag Chinese pirates.
Let me check this out. See what's going on. I brought back some good stuff. I wanted to, since this is an assimilation webinar, I want to give everybody a little bit of a man. That's nice. That's nice. Take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everybody knows, I know who's on the webinar, so I know if you didn't post hashtag the Chinese Pirate too.
He's got a checklist right now.
I do. I'm checking it down. Check. You get the documentary. You get the documentary. Oh, none from Kurt Engett yet. Sorry, Kurt. No documentary for you. We'll see. See Susan Ann McDowell on there. Hey, Susan. Susan's got some more bombs. I'm actually going to be Cotton. I think you and I are going to be working out Susan's list with this new deal you worked out that will be closing out next week probably.
Sure.
But I want to give everybody a sneak preview. Let me see. Give me a. I can't do a hashtag mindblown because that's kind of like in advance.
Oh no, we got that saved for what's coming up. Yeah.
Oh, I know. No, I know what's coming up. Give me a boom if you'd like a sneak preview of the series of this new documentary. I wrote about it today. I was kind of half delirious from a Hong Kong airport, trying to give everybody a sneak preview of this new 2-track OMG exclusive documentary about product getting. But it's funny, Cotton, because you took to this right away and tracked down a little $24 million business that wants to supply us with product.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting how things come full circle with Cotton Grammar style velvet ropes negotiation. So I'm gonna predict that we'll get a bunch of hashtag velvet ropes after this. Maybe it's a long hashtag though. It better be good. So anyways, first of all, I want to tell everybody, man, I miss y'all. It was a long time. I did manage to jump on Skype with Cotton a couple of times, from the phone. And I talked to David Mills a little bit, and I talked to Joe Marfolio just a little bit. But otherwise, I was really missing you guys. And but I was out there. I was hunting down overwhelming advantages because that's what we're all about at OMG. We will take it to the limit. There's a lot of what we have coming is a 2-track series on product getting, and it's pretty shocking how relevant Cotton Grammar style SEO client consulting can be to Amazon and to e-commerce. I heard that e-commerce question earlier, and there is I'm getting a Star-Spangled Banner from Brad Callum. That's a good one. Is that for me, Brad? That's pretty nice. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview. Now this is going to be a 2-track documentary, and I'm still formulating exactly how it'll roll out, but I already have the framework in mind. David Mills helped me work it out. It's going to be a 2-part documentary, OMG exclusive documentary. Nobody else has this. Very, very powerful. And 1 track is just the specific checklists and the specific buyer agents that I recommend that you use, the specific insight that I have. What do you need to do to avoid dead ends with buying product or with partnering with somebody who has product? So very specific. Here's the actionable steps. That's 1 track. And then the 2nd track is going to be kind of over my shoulder, my experience. Obviously, I have my own skills. I have my own resources. You have yours. I've been to Japan 22 times. Over the course of about the 8 years after I first went into business, which was 18 years ago. I started an e-commerce store almost immediately, theendgames.com, and I started another one called pokepage.com. You can look them up in the Wayback Machine. And I was on eBay, and I was doing a lot of e-commerce, millions of dollars in e-commerce, primarily with Magic and Pokemon, and I then started mixing in a little bit of info marketing. But I really have a very strong e-commerce background, and part of this whole over-the-shoulder documentary, the 2nd track of the documentary series. Oh, I see Jim Messenger's on. Good seeing you. Miss you, Jim. Miss Dave Keys. Really great seeing all your well-wishing. Serena, see, Pip, a lot of people out there. Chris, this is great. Yeah, I really appreciate all this good energy. So, anyways, and if I'm a little loopy, I'm on about 24 hours of no sleep, but I couldn't miss assimilation if I could make it. We all love assimilation. So Cotton, I was telling you in the cab, I did catch a couple hours of nap before this webinar, And I wanted to give people a sneak preview of what's possible, sort of like beginning, like a movie theater sneak preview. But me and Liz and a couple of other OMGers walked into a real high-powered negotiation in China, into a Chinese factory. And this is a real high-end factory. Things are changing in China, just so everybody knows, and OMGers are going to get a real different insight. Things that folks don't know. Here's one thing. 7 out of 10 factory workers that were working a few years ago, Cotton, are not working anymore. Not because they're out of work, it's because they're unwilling to work, okay? Yeah, I'm telling you, the landscape's changing, but you know what else is going on at the same time? Is massive modernization when it comes to tools, streamlined factories, and so forth. And we visited one factory that was in a really high-end, a very prestigious high-end industrial park. But when I say visited, we were there to roll up our sleeves and do some money getting. I was there to go in there and get myself some money, and of course to provide insight to OMGers. Now remember, the one track is just actionable checklists, actual resources, actual buyer's agents that you can contact. And I got Who the Bell Tolls from Ryan Rodden. That's awesome. It's really cool. I like that song. So anyways, when we drove away from this factory, I had a deal, and a few OMGers were there. They were able to watch like flies on a wall. And one of them was like, wow, that was an amazing meeting, Mike. It was amazing to see that, and there was literally applause at the end of it, believe it or not. It was pretty crazy. But she asked me, her name is Ty, and she asked me, she was like, Mike, how did that meeting happen in the first place? How did we get in with them in the first place? And I said, simple. Cotton Grammar, Velvet Ropes, OMG 101. That's what I told her. And I said it was the same thing that got us the meeting was the same thing that closed the meeting. All right, that got the deal, that hammerlocked them into working with us. And so I'll tell you what I told them, and I want to give folks a sneak preview. I went, it's one of the biggest robotics companies in all of China, one of the most successful, innovative, small shops there. But when I say small shop, they're, significantly expensive, successful, millions and millions of dollar company. And I got to talking to their representative there, and I was trying to explain, they're like, I knew that they wanted to be in Google. I knew they wanted to be on Amazon, but how to convey it. And the answer, this is just a sneak preview. I'm just kind of jumping in. I'm going to say this, and because I want everyone to get excited, I want you to jump on Saturday. Me and Jack Carvel are going to have at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have an Amazon Q&A, and I'm also going to give you a sneak preview, much more in-depth sneak preview of this documentary as it's going to start rolling out. So me and OMG or Jack Carvel are going to do that on Saturday. Maybe we'll get Susan Ann McDowell to jump on with us. But anyways, so Cotton, I told you this. You told me like a long time ago that the foundation of client consulting, in your opinion, and I think that you're absolutely correct, is in terms of introducing the relationship, keeping the relationship something different, but in terms of introducing the relationship, it's loss of opportunity. That's the driving mechanic, because you can express to them right now that they're missing out on that opportunity. In the case of SEO client consulting, to be number one in Google and in maps and so forth, and that's a powerful motivator. Am I mischaracterizing things, or does that seem correct to you?
No, that's like right, 100%.
Well, so this is what I did. I knew these guys wanted to be on Amazon. It's all the buzz amongst factory owners, amongst product producers and so forth. Amazon is a huge buzz right now. Getting on Google and getting ranked in Google right now, it's a huge buzz. Now that may sound crazy to you because of course Amazon's been around for years and Google's been around for years, but there are different degrees of what I would call market sophistication. Okay, there's different awakening points, different dawning points. And Cotton, what you're taking advantage of, overwhelmingly successful, I mean more successful than I am by a lot with cottongrammar.com, is where business owners got to a degree of sophistication, mostly in America, but also around the world, where they realized that they wanted rankings, but that these Penguin and Panda updates had routed them. had run them right off of page 1 of Google, or maybe they could never get on page 1 of Google, and you were able to register, like register in
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful. Like it hit for them. So here's what I did. I was talking to this this representative at the Canton Fair. He paid around $100,000 for his booth, Cotton. So again, Cotton Grammar 101. He's paying for advertising. He's a good prospect.
Sure.
He's spending money to make money. So I pointed that out to him, and I knew that he wanted to be on Amazon and Google because I asked him. And then I asked him, man, do you like sports? And he's like, yeah, I like sports. Because I was trying to, there's a language barrier. I was there with OMG or Howard Shen, so Howard was translating it. It really helped. And I can't wait for you guys to really get to know Howard. He's amazing, and his father. But anyways, I said, do you like sports? And he was like, yeah, I like sports. I like football, which means, for them, soccer. And then I said, Cotton, I'll ask you this. Like, your favorite football team is the St. Louis Rams. Cotton, do you like it when they lose?
No, I don't.
And if they have a rough season where they lost like literally every single game, would you like that?
You mean my life the last 5 years? No.
So you like the Kurt Warner era just a little bit better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sure.
Okay, great. So that's what I said. I said, would you like it if your team got their butt kicked every single game? And the guy was like, no. And there was like a grimace on his face. I said, well, that's what's happening right now on the pages of Amazon, and that's what's happening right now on the pages of Google, because right now you're getting your butt kicked. That's just the bottom line. If I pull out my phone right now, we go to Amazon.com, where are you? Where are your, they do these like little robotic driving machines. Where are they? They're not on there. They're not on there. And he kind of shook his head, and his face was like a little bit red. And I said, well, I could fix that. And what that is that's how you get people in the velvet ropes. And I said the same thing. I sat down in the meeting that we have in their factory, and I said, to close things out. It was actually, they have an office in a factory, but in their office it was a big boardroom meeting with weirdly enough there was 10 OMGers versus 10 Chinese business guys. And we won. We all won. Everybody won. But the OMGers got the deal. I got the deal. And it boiled down to the same thing. Like, do you like getting your butt kicked? Before Bill Belichick came to the New England Patriots, they used to get their butt kicked all the time. And nowadays they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So you could be that coach that can step in and win Super Bowl after Super Bowl. For whether it's, and this is again, what does this have to do? Well, anyone who's watching this webinar should be fascinated with SEO client consulting, and I'm telling you that adding the option of taking a product creator, be it a factory or be it an inventor or whatever it is, and helping them get up on Amazon or get up, get their listings up. There's also lots of recovery options out there. People that have e-commerce stores that have crapped out, that you can go in there, they're getting their butt kicked on Google every single day, and you can help them understand Cotton grammar style. So really what I want, I really hope that was, I know it's maybe a little bit discombobulated there. I'm doing my best here. I'm on light sleep, probably about 40 hours of travel, and not too much. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of comments now. God, when I logged on, there was like 40 comments. Now there's like 398. You get the This is there's pirate pictures on here. Let's get man, pirate pictures. I really like that. Let's get your favorite stamp. I'm gonna post a sticker since Liz loves these stickers. So let's get your favorite sticker on there, and I'm gonna post a sticker. And what I want to say is, it really boils down to once again, Cotton Grammar 101. The way to get people in the door, the way to get them in the door. That's just hysterical, Renee. This is brand new OMGer, by the way. She has a great sticker. Oh wow, a little OMG bear, Adrian. That's very cool. Post your favorite stickers. So hashtag sticker. So so I really want people to understand it's the same thing. We've got the same core with OMG as always. Free traffic from the biggest buyer search engines in the world, like Google and Amazon are the two biggest buyer search engines in the world. And what's going on right now is that there are millions of businesses who are longingly looking. They're just begging. They're hoping. Their golf buddy is like, "Are you up on Amazon?" And it's literally embarrassing to them, literally humiliating to them. All right, they want to get in there. They want to get in on the action. That's the bottom line. They want to get in on the action. So if you can you just give me, if I say hashtag cotton, it's going to kind of, we're going to get a bunch of like tagging cotton's name. That'd be kind of like really weird. So let's do hashtag velvet ropes. And of course, put your favorite sticker up there as well. So let me get both a hashtag velvet ropes if you get it, if you get the idea. Now, by the way, you can keep people. You don't have to keep people with loss of value, of course, because you're going to do OMG style SEO. You're going to do OMG SEO, you know, the way that Greg is showing you, the way that Jimmy, Russell, and Sue, the way that Derek is showing you, the way that Cotton is showing you. You're going to do that OMG SEO, so they're going to rank. At that point, you know, you're going to keep those paychecks rolling because they want to keep the value. But you know, what's right in front of their nose, what's 2 inches away from their nose, is that they are missing out. They are missing out. They're getting their butts kicked on the front pages of Google and Amazon right now. They are losing every single game 48-0. It's not even close. Kurt Angle is on here. That's awesome. I like seeing the Kurt's on there. All right, so if you get this, if this is at least a little bit of a light bulb moment or an aha moment, then give me a hashtag velvet ropes, because you are so fortunate to have Cotton Grammar on here. Because, you know, this is one of the things Cotton, I'll tell you, when I was in China, I was just thinking, it's funny, like all these OMGers were there with me, and they were asking me, man, like, how are you doing this? How are you mowing down? Like, because I had people lining up. Like, people were throwing product at me. They're like, please make my product #1 on Amazon. Please make my product #1 on Google. And OMGers were like, what the hell is going on, Mike? Why are people just throwing money at you? And I said one thing. It's one thing you need to know. Cotton Grammar.
That's funny, but no, glad I could help. But you're amazing in your own right, so glad that you can give me a little bit of credit for what's like going on. But I've watched you work the circuit also when I was in Vegas, so you're an expert in your own right. So.
I appreciate that, Cotton. But we all know that Cotton is Brad. That is the craziest pirate scene I've ever seen in my life. That just came out of nowhere. That's you got some good creativity going on here. People who miss out on this webinar tomorrow morning are like, what the hell did they talk about?
Right.
Well, anyway, listen, everybody. Let me give you a sneak preview. What Cotton is about to share with you, I've been aware of for a little bit over a week. Right before I left for China, I became aware of it. I am so excited for you that Cotton and Derek, and is Josh here too?
Oh, we haven't revealed who it is yet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's okay. They don't know yet. But we're gonna unveil him here in a few moments. He's still wrapped up like a Christmas present.
Let me everyone thinks it's Fletch right now. It's not Fletch. Yeah. I'll give you that hint, guys. So of course Fletch is off doing other just literally amazing stuff right now. So so that, boy, people are coming up with some really crazy pirate pictures. This is some good stuff. So I'm glad everyone's having a great time, and I'm looking to turn you back over to Cotton. And remember, this Saturday, right around 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll put together one of the nice OMG posters. If you're going to join me for Saturday, give me a hashtag Saturday, just so I know how much to prepare. Maybe I'll just sleep in if I don't get enough hashtag Saturdays. You're planning on joining me and Jack Harvell, and tag Jack Harvell. You know, try to bribe him if you're planning on being on. Just let's say Jack Harvell hashtag freaking out for Jack. That's his. Give me a hashtag Saturday and a Jack Harvell hashtag freaking out. If you're, and that's just for the people who are excited about this, but you're going to start to see, I'm telling you this more and more, you guys in SEO client consulting, which I believe in. It's absolutely the best way to start with money getting. But but I'll tell you what, knowing Amazon and being aware of it and being aware of how you can leverage this high octane cotton grammar velvet ropes, really helping people understand they're missing out. And hopefully that gives you another angle, by the way, because you know what, every business owner that's not in there right now, that they're not on page 1 of Google, that they're not page 1 on the maps, number 1 on the maps, they're missing out too. So you can get in there and you can point out that they're getting their butt kicked in the NFL of money getting right now, and you can be the head coach that comes in and literally changes everything for them. So I'm looking forward to the incredibly powerful technique that Mr. X and Cotton and Derek are going to share with you. And I'm just going to kind of permanently go on mute here, relax. I've blown myself out, but I hope you guys enjoyed that sneak preview. And thanks for letting me have a brief 30-minute hijacking of your piracy your webinar.
No, that's okay. Guys, what I want you to understand, even what Mike's doing is you guys have went out and you spent a lot of money on OMG, and you bought it strictly, mainly, 90% of you, for SEO. What Mike's going out and doing right now is something that I've never seen happen with another internet course before. He's literally building another course inside of the existing course that you have right now without you spending one penny for it. Mike's flying all the way to China. He's got stuff. I've got stuff lined up with Mike to where we're going to show you how you don't even have to know SEO, and how Mike and I are going to bring one, and I feel this, you're going to watch. Mike and I are going to document it. We're going to film a documentary, over-the-shoulder series, about how Mike and I are going to bring a $24 million supplement company live on Amazon, and we're going to make them a household name in the United States. Their product is that powerful, and they have never released their product outside of their own stores before. And this stuff is exciting. This is beyond SEO. This is beyond what you've asked to pay for. This is continually what OMG does for you. And it's things like this that blow my mind. It makes me feel so fortunate that I'm at the right place at the right time, as I know all of you are right now. Because not only are you getting the best SEO information, we're also going to put the information of the best Amazon training that you could get, bar none, on the internet. Mike has went out and acquired the best of the best to give you training that are making 6 figures a month. How to go out and find their own products, but we're also going to show you how you can find existing products and bring them on Amazon for the piece of the business. If that sounds exciting to you, that you could go out and take a product live on Amazon and take a percentage of the business, give me #yes right now. If you want to take, what if you were to take the George Foreman grill to Amazon and they were to give you 10% of the company for taking it live? Wouldn't you be interested in how I'm and Mike are going to show you how to open the doors up on companies to do that, along with going out and finding your own products? That's what Mike is going to be building over the next few months and placing it right inside your members area. He's not going to charge you anything more for it. We're not going to charge you anything more. He's just adding value to what you've already spent. It's that type of dedication which makes OMG the greatest place on earth. So I just had to say that, how fortunate you are to even be here for that sort of stuff. So hopefully Mike knows you guys appreciate him, and that Mike, I know that if you're still on, that you're seeing all the yeses here, that they're excited about everything you do, and they're very fortunate that they get to be here as OMG grows and does all that.
You get me fired up, Cotton. We're working hard behind the scenes. Like, we enjoy this stuff, and it's
Sure.
OMG's just sitting on a hill, guys. I mean, it's I got to experience it in China. I'll tell you this. I mentioned this in the email that went out today. But Eric Arno, he's right up against his first 5-figure month. He's so excited. He's so fired up. He's 62 years old. He's never in the last 2 years he hasn't collected a paycheck, and he's never made any money online. And he flew all the way. He was so excited. it was funny, Cotton, because I was there's a home goods fair in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is actually the first place I ever flew out of the country to, flew out of good old USA to, and I walked in the lobby and there was Eric sitting on the couch, and he's like, Mike, and I was like, I turned over to the right and I saw him there and he's sitting on the couch, and he latched onto me and he told me, he's like, I came out all the way out here to thank you and to thank Liz and also to thank Mike Bittler. He's a real big Brad Mabry fan, and he went, he just joined us just a few weeks ago, and he got his first product up on Amazon. And we see this all the time, of course, with you take Mobile Apocalypse and there's like 2.2 million OMG earnings reports from it or something like that. But it's heartening to see it. It's starting to happen on Amazon, and it actually turns out that we have several people having even larger scale success. But I'll focus in for a second. Eric, he was so excited. He's right up against his first 5-figure month with Amazon, and he brought brought Liz this quilt and handed it to her, and he handed me this big wooden bowl, which unfortunately Eric didn't make the trip back, so it was a little too heavy. I really wanted to bring it, but everything was a little crazy, so somebody else got to enjoy that. But regardless, it was really cool. It was a really cool experience, and I'll tell you this: there are so many OMGers inside of, and it's a little bit of a different. If you're looking for fast cash, make no mistake, the very fastest way to stuff your pockets with a bunch of actual profit with nothing else going on is SEO client consulting. But at the same time, there's several OMGers that are doing 6 figures per month in sales on Amazon, and they're building something significant too. They may not be putting away the kind of profits that Cotton is, or that Fletch is, or that Joe Marfolio is, that Kurt Engett is, or whatever. But there is action on the table, and there is the opportunity to either partner with these people and take a cut of the action and have that be profits funneling into your pocket, or to do Cotton Grammar style SEO client consulting with them and just collect a paycheck, 4 figures a month, $8,000 a month, $12,000 a month, $20,000 a month. It's out there for these. It's not just Amazon, but it's also e-commerce as well. So that got me real fired up, Cotton, and I know it's 10:30 your time, so I'm gonna get out of the way. But I want to thank everybody for those good feelings. I really missed you while I was in China, Hong Kong, but I was working hard for you. I was burning the midnight oil. I was bringing together. There was several 6-figure per month OMGers with Liz Herrera, with Mike Bittler, with Jin and Kevin Chan, and with Max and Magleby, all 6-figure per month in sales on Amazon. And of course, we have other OMG Amazoners that are stateside, like Jack Harvell is making 6 figures per month, and just other wonderful resources, tools, and so forth. So this is, it's all happening in OMG. OMG is this. It's a city on a hill. It's a success cocoon, and we're still right in the thick of March, April, May mastery. And one of the things that I was thinking about, OMG being a city on a hill, I was thinking about being a success cocoon, and I thought a lot about what Jesus talked about with he made these references to the kingdom of heaven. I'm not sure to get overly profound here, by the way, with OMG, but just kind of like a and Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is like, like a guy finds out that there's a buried treasure in a field, and he sells everything to buy the field, because then he gets the buried treasure. And OMG is like, like just filled with buried treasures. So make it your home base. We're right in the thick of March, April, May mastery. It's crazy as it sounds, because I know March and early April were so exciting, but we're just pouring on the gasoline. This webinar with Cotton is obviously completely an inferno of fire, just like Cotton said it would be. And the crazy part is, it's about to go thermonuclear, because Cotton, I know what Cotton's about to share, and it's ridiculous. So we are going to have hundreds of #mindblowns. That is my opinion. And I'm going to sit back, I pop some popcorn, Cotton, and I'm ready to pop it and watch it just like a movie, and watch it roll out.
Absolutely. Thanks. Guys, that just blows me away, what Mike said, that he was all the way in Hong Kong, and OMG wanted to fly out just to say hello. And I'm always humbled that, you know, even when we were out in Phoenix, you know, I like posted before the assimilation webinar, anyone that is, you know, in OMG that is around the Phoenix area is welcome to come there. I could swear that we had about 10 OMGers show up. Maybe I'm off by 2 or 3, but it just seemed like every night there were OMGers just coming in that weren't at Network Empire certification, but that just wanted to hang out with me, Fletch, Kurt Inget, the other OMGers out there, and it just felt good to know that our community is everywhere. And it's just a great time out there, and was very, very fortunate to meet everyone. And I was able to bring Kurt on for just a little bit. Kurt, are you there, buddy? Hey, Kurt Inget, are you there? Yeah. He might not be prepared to talk, but were you not blown away by all the OMGers that just shown up, just wanting to hang out? Can you hear me okay now? Yeah, I think we're having some problems with his mic, but we'll like come back to him. But Kurt was there, and I know Fletch was humbled as well, and like I was as well. But just everywhere we go, even when Mike and I were in Vegas, just OMGers everywhere. It's like just a great experience. So, guys, I think we've got all the questions done. We've made everyone wait long enough. So we're going to get down to business, guys. We're gonna burn this webinar to the ground tonight. And I literally feel that what we're getting ready to show you right now is literally going to alter how you look for PBNs, how you're able to do everything. And I'm very excited about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you this special guest. And I told you at the beginning of the webinar that I'd heard his name through certain circles, and you know, I'd heard he was doing some crazy stuff. Well, he happened to be at Network Empire certification, so he is a level 5 Network Empire certified instructor. And you know, after talking to him and seeing what he knows, I know that this guy's a real deal. And not only that, but he's young, and he's in his early 20s. And some of the things he knows, you know, he's 10 years younger than Derek, you know, maybe 12, 15 years younger than Jimmy. I'm just telling you, if he can, yeah, exactly. He's like young enough where he could be my son. But he's very talented. I do know that Derek has had the opportunity of like talking with him a lot, and what he's done is he's also been known to be a magician and someone that does illusions. And what he's going to do is he's going to take you and show you something that's been in front of your eyes the whole time, and it's going to seem like it's a magic trick. So before we get started, guys, we have almost 400 people on here. I want to give a hashtag let's go before we introduce them. And a hashtag let's go. And I'm going to be monitoring this. There's almost 400. We need 150 hashtag let's go. I want to know that you guys are psyched, ready to roll. Literally, I believe that this could be the best reveal that we can show you in 2015 up to date. It's simple. It's been in front of your face the whole time. So I'm going to give it time. Until then, mystery guest, can you unmute yourself? Are you there?
Hey, what's going on, Todd?
So,
can you hear me?
Yeah. How does it feel to see all these let's go, let's get ready? You know, that I've said that you're the real deal, man, that you're going to blow their minds. Is that a lot of pressure for you?
No, it's okay. I'm used to it. It's all right.
Guys, I want to introduce you to, I'm gonna change the page. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it up on another page. So you can give him a hashtag welcome. And let me bring it up. Right here he is, guys. Joshua Erb. Guys, if you're not friends with him, do so now. I'm just telling you, he is a wealth of knowledge. Some of the things he knows is amazing. I know he trades stuff back and forth with Derek. I was trading stuff back and forth to him. I guarantee you that he is the next SEO savant to emerge from OMG. And I vetted this. I vetted him out. I'm telling you, this guy's a real deal. And it was bomb drop after bomb drop after bomb drop from sitting and talking to him for a few moments to where literally it became exhausting. And I think he wants to kick Derek out of his position. What do you think about that?
I would never want to do that.
No, I'm just
Derek's too much of a friend to do that.
Hey, right. But guys, welcome Joshua right now, and just give hashtag welcome Joshua. He is literally, I'm going to give the screen over to him. He's going to take you on something that is definitely going to blow your mind. Joshua, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give the presenter over to you, and all you have to do is accept it, and I'll let you know when we can see your screen.
All right, cool.
There you go. You should have it. You have to do is accept it.
All right. So you should be able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is something that I've discovered that really kind of changed the game for a lot of people, and for me especially. And so, I thought I'd go ahead and reveal it because I've since moved on to other things, but this is still very, very extremely powerful, if not one of the most powerful things you can do, especially starting out. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to ahrefs.com/pricing plans and I get the $179 a month just because I need to be able to access a lot of data when I do this. So once you do that.
Hey, Josh, not to interrupt you, but how many of you guys have used Ahrefs before, Ahrefs before? Give me number 2 in the chat box. Give me number 2. See all the 2s there, Joshua? Everyone knows what you're talking about, just to make sure. Give me a number 4 of who has a subscription to it. There's a few 4s there. There's a few 4s. So, all right, Josh, I'm going to hand it back over to you. I just wanted to make sure that everyone's on the same page as us.
All right, cool. Yeah, and I've been using this tool for probably a year now, maybe a little more than that, and I never even knew about this function, so it really kind of changes the game, especially when you realize that Ahrefs is actually the best scraper around. It trumps pretty much all other tools that I've seen in regards to how many backlinks it crawls, and it actually crawls, every 15 minutes. So I hear people, running their own software and doing this and that and all this expensive stuff and getting servers and all that, and it's just like, you don't even need to do that. So, you could use this method. So what I do is I buy the plan. I come over here.
Hey, hold on. Hey, not to interrupt you, can you describe to what people is a scraper and what they're doing with it? Because I think there's some OMGers that might not know what that is.
Okay, so when you're looking at PBNs, you're basically looking at either auction domains or expired domains. And one of the ways you can find expired domains specifically is by searching for broken links. So a broken link would be defined as a link that is no longer, they basically forgot to pay their hosting and now the site's no longer available. So that means we as SEOs can filter them out using tools like I'm going to show you and gather a lot of them from any website you want, Microsoft.com, Apple.com, whatever you really want, and being able to harness those for our SEO efforts so that we can make more money.
So in essence, what you're saying is when all these PBN brokers are selling people domains, they're essentially scraping the internet for broken links.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you a few different ways to do it, but this is my pretty much go-to method. It's the fastest, and it's kind of ridiculous how easy it is. So.
Okay, guys, if you've understood where we're at so far, that any time that you're buying domains from a broker and they're expired domains that they're scraping them, give me a number 9. Give me a 9 in the chat box that you understand what we're talking about. Great. If you think you understand but not quite sure, give me a 4. Yeah, we're getting some 4s here.
Okay, so I'll try to explain it a little better. So an expired domain is a domain that is no longer registered or no longer hosted. So that means that it drops. And whenever it drops, it goes through certain processes. One of them, I'm not sure what that noise is, but where people bid on the domains. And, you know, that was just too expensive. And especially with me starting out, my first niche was the casino niche. So I had to really kind of find the fastest way to, and the most efficient way to do things. So, but the domains basically expire, and you can either re-register them under, you know, fake credentials or use whois protection, etc. Or you can search for broken links. Because if a link is broken, so if I'm apple.com and I have a broken link over to site A, I can go and register site A because it's no longer registered, and then harness that for my PBN. So I don't have to wait in an auction to buy domains. So hopefully that makes sense.
Guys, if that makes sense, give me a number 5, if that kind of cleared it up. What it like basically is like all these domain brokers take this service, they go out and they crawl all of these websites, these major websites, and they look for links that are dead. And then what they do is say, oh, it's live on apple.com, but it's broken at its destination. So then they compile a list. So if that makes sense, give me a number 1. I want to make sure that we're not leaving anyone out in the cold. If you're absolutely lost and you have no idea what I'm talking about, give me a number 3. We don't have any 3s, Josh. You did your job. Continue.
All right, cool. So, like I said, you'd probably be okay starting off with the lower end just to try it out, or you could do it for 7 days, and if you don't like it, you can get your money back, but I think you'll want to start doing it for sure. So what you do is after you purchase your plan, you come over to Ahrefs, and let's say we want to do apple.com, okay? So we're going to search for links. We're going to let it load. So sorry if my internet's a little slow here, but you're going to see this section down here underneath outgoing links. Now, depending on what browser you're in, you'll either have it up here on the top navigation, or you'll have it on the left-hand side as you see here. So what you're going to want to make sure is that you go to outgoing links and then broken links, because if you do it internally, it's only going to search that domain. So the links going out, you select broken links, and this is actually the function that was not, it was added pretty recently, and a lot of people didn't even talk about it. No one really used it, and you know, they just kept spending money on software. So this is a faster way I found of doing it. So you hit broken links, and as you'll see, there's not just 12,000 different domains from apple.com that you can register, but there's 12,000 pages. So there's a lot of domains that have high trust flow and good metrics. And you can just export this data with just one click. Okay, I do Microsoft Excel, start export. Okay, and then from that point I filter it. So is there any questions so far on that part?
Guys, if this hasn't blown your mind right now, listen to me, what he just showed you. You can enter in apple.com, click broken links, and it's showing you 12,000 things that you can go out and register right now. All you've got to do is he's going to show you the next step. Give me a hashtag mind blown. Guys, if I don't get 300 hashtag mind blowns, I'm going to stop him in the webinar. This is absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah, we just won't do the rest of the webinar.
Yeah, this should blow your mind right now, that it's that easy to go out. And guys, it's not just apple.com. It is any website that you want. Forbes, Huffington Post, Time, Sports Illustrated. And all you have to do is take that information, and he's going to show you how to go out and register a domain that has an apple.com link coming back into it. Tell me that this isn't the craziest thing that you haven't ever seen right in front of your face the whole time. It's been right there the whole time. Now tell me that you can't go out and rank the crap out of everything. Guys, please, we've like only got 175 people that have did hashtag mind blown. If you don't appreciate what Josh has found and what he's showing you, then we can go. But please, I need everyone to participate because this, I think, is the find of 2015. And you can thank Josh for this. He's found it. He shared it with me, and I said, dude, we've got to get you on this webinar to share. So guys, this is how crazy this is. So Josh, how does that feel that you've just blown 300 people's minds, man?
It feels pretty awesome, but I think they'll like what comes next.
Oh my, there is more.
Yeah, there's more. There's a lot more.
Oh my. Guys,
well, thankfully through this process, there's only a few more steps, and it's very simple, and I'll walk you through that. So.
Sure, please continue.
All right, so what you do is after you enter the domain, Microsoft, whatever, Wikipedia, whatever you want, you export here. Then what I do is I come up here and I open the Excel, okay? And what I then do is I filter out everything that I don't need, which is pretty much everything besides the actual list. So, you know, if you don't have an Excel sheet, I highly recommend getting one, especially if you're going to bulk analyze data, etc. So at this point, I right-click and I delete. Okay, I delete everything over here that I don't need, which is everything. I don't really care about Ahrefs rank that much. It's too easily manipulated, even though all the metrics are, but still. Okay, clean it up, right-click, delete, shift up.
Guys, don't worry. For those of you worried about he's moving too quickly, maybe we can talk Josh into doing a module on this for OMG. So just let him run through everything. Don't panic if you're not catching all of his moves. We're going to see if we can't rope him into making a video for us. So let's let Josh run with what he's got.
All right, cool. So after you do that, you basically take the list and you save it. I usually save as, I switched this to Windows formatted text, and I save it to my desktop for convenience. So I hit save, hit continue. Then after that, what we do is we find the broken links that we just saved, okay? Then what I do is I do Control A, Control C. So basic copy and paste. Then I head over to this website called url-to-domain.com. Okay, and then I make sure that these 4 buttons are selected. So I include subdomains. I ignore URLs starting with an IP because that's usually too spammy. Keep entries starting with domain, and then remove duplicates. Okay, so then at that point, I then Control V.
Hey, like Josh, is there any way now that you've already pasted those in there, could you paste that URL into the answer at the bottom of the questions right now and hit to send all?
Yeah, the URL to domain.
Yeah, just put it right there where it's right underneath the questions and then hit to send all so they get that link.
Okay, so type answer here. Send all, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the site.
Yeah, guys, if you got it, give me a 1 if you got that link. Great. Okay.
So then at this point, I scroll down and I hit URL to domain. And basically what this is doing is this is trimming everything to the root. You can use Scrapebox, you can use, you know, anything else. Well, hold on, I must have did something wrong. Oops, wrong one. Luckily we have a backup of this, huh? So, but this works on pretty much any site too that I've found. So you just scroll down here, hit URL to domain, or you can use Scrapebox, which I can film a video on that as well. It seems like I've actually messed up on the Excel sheet. I forgot to get a column so you can see it in here, but it's fairly simple. All you do is just press that button from URL to domain, and then I just put it over here for the deduper, which this is called esqsoft.com. I'll go ahead and throw this on. Hopefully this isn't too fast for anyone.
That's what replays and pause and rewind is for.
Yeah, exactly. So I then dedupe it with the line feed at that point. And it's just some garbly gook is what a term actually coined by Supel. I hear her saying that because I forgot the a part on the Excel sheet, but hopefully it's pretty straightforward. Then at that point, I just make sure the domain's available. Okay, so I come over here to Dynadot, or you can use this one called ninjaseotools.com, and you just copy and paste it in here, hit check domain, and it'll actually highlight which ones are available to register.
And all of these ones in blue or black are available. Oh, the ones in blue.
The ones in blue, yeah.
So then
And so
that would be that we have a domain that we can buy right now, this onesilkysoft.com. Let's see who the first one to register that is. Guys, who wants to be the first to register? That is a link back to apple.com is coming into that domain. That's
This
how
is
easy
actually-
this is.
This is actually from Microsoft. I was actually just doing what I
okay.
came in here. But you just copy and paste it in there, and everyone in here, if they're in SEO, they know what copy and paste is. So it's pretty simple. And then actually for your convenience with this tool specifically, you can hit export. And if you export it, it'll actually export only the available domain. So it's literally like a few clicks, and you can have like a whole PBN. So at that point, then I take these domains, okay, copy and paste them, and then it's a matter of going over to Majestic, okay, and then I go to Link Map Tools, and then I go to Bulk Backlinks. And this is actually fairly inexpensive. You can use this too. I use several different tools to check for metrics. I can drop those also in the box if you want, but this is also an option. You can bulk check your backlinks for trust flow. And then after you sort that, then you can go and register those sites. And I make sure they have DA. I make sure they're spam checked. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty much a process.
Not that. You told me that you have a process to check for spam. How do you do that? Very, very, very slowly.
Exactly. So, but just to recap so people don't get confused, all it is a simple search within Ahrefs. You go to outgoing links, broken links, okay? Then you export the data, open it up, and then you make sure you only are left with the URL list. That's where I messed up because this is my first time live, so whatever, right?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. It's okay.
But basically, all you do is just come in here, copy and paste that, trim it to domain. I use the second deduper just to make sure. And then I use a bulk domain availability checker. So you can come to Dynadot. You can click on domains. Scroll down, click on bulk search. This is one way to do it. You can hit I entered fully qualified domain names. And then you just do a copy and paste in there. And then you hit search. Okay? Or you can come over here to ninjaseotools.com and use theirs. It's also free. And you can just export the data. And then it's just a matter of taking those, putting them in a bulk backlink analyzer, which I can drop in the chat box for you guys, and then you just go and register it. And that's pretty much it.
Guys, if this hasn't blown your mind, I mean, seriously, this, and he's showing you literally how to go out and then buy.
These are Microsoft.com ones that are available. People can register right now if they want.
Wow. These
so
are
you can
ones,
go get backlinks from Microsoft right now, just from this.
You're right. Guys, he's even doing bulk checking for you right now. It's so simple to do this with just one. So you might not need to go out and buy 15 at once, but you can easily buy one or two at a time until you need it. Think of other companies. Guys, if this hasn't freaking blown your mind, if every week we don't continue to have amazing stuff, please, I want you to show this and do hashtag mindblown2. Hashtag mindblown2. I want you guys to show appreciation for what Josh has shown. Guys, he's just shown you a way. You do not have to be bound by going out and finding any PBNs from any broker ever again. If that doesn't blow your mind, what does?
And also, you can also sell these domains. So you can go to like all these forums and you could be a domain seller. You could hire VAs to do this for you. That's what I do. I have like a whole team of VAs that just do this alone. So, and also you can scrape related to your niche. So, you can go after these big authority sites, but keep in mind that all the SEOs and their mothers are scraping these big authority sites. So,
You know what, Josh? I want you to retract what you just said because I don't want OMGers to do that. Because here's why. Guys, what he's shown you, I want to make this very clear to you. I want you to keep this inside of OMG. Now, for those of you, you've spent a lot of money to be involved in OMG. For this to get outside of OMG, all you're doing is hurting yourself. Now, give me a hashtag, just SHHH. I want you guys to know this doesn't leave us. Guys, don't be greedy. I like Josh is thinking bigger and money-wise. I respect him for that. He gave you the right advice. But you know what I want you to do, guys? I want you to just take what you need and don't try to be greedy and let other OMGers have it. We don't want people or someone in here that gets greedy just go out and rape this clean and not have it for everyone. There's enough for everyone to eat right now. But just take what you need, and it might only be 10 or 12. Buy what you want, and let other OMGers have it as well. But guys, please, information like this that gets outside of our group only hurts you. It only hurts you. So, don't get grandiose ideas about you're going to start a business inside of OMG and sell other OMG members. We already have enough people that don't know how to rank that are trying to do that right now. So he's showing you a way right now where you can explode your business. You can have incredibly powerful links from Fortune 500 companies coming back into your money site. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what does. Josh, is there anything else that you want to recap with this, or like show them that you think you might have left out to help them out?
Yeah, this is the basic process. I have a few other things that, we might show later after the recording or whatnot, but
right.
This is the basic streamlined process that if you just walk through what I showed you, it's very simple, and you're going to be amazed at what you find.
Let me just get a gauge of like everyone here. If you would like Josh to go through this one more time, give me a 5. Just if you feel comfortable watching him do it one more time, look at all the 5s, Josh. They want you to do this one more time for him from the very beginning. Is that possible? Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, I can do that for sure.
Sure. Guys, you know what? Throw some companies out that you want him to do. Throw them in the box. Throw them in the box, and he'll see them, and then we'll do that. Who's some companies that you would want to get links from? Throw them in the box. We got 2 Huffington Posts in a row. Should we try that? Oh, there's a good one. How about Samsung?
Yeah, we can do that one.
Sure.
All right, so once again, this is going to be dependent upon your browser, so it will either be up above here, right here, or it's going to be down on the left-hand column. So as long as you remember outgoing links and broken links.
Right. Josh, I apologize. I'm going to ask questions because I know what a lot of these are thinking, so I'm going to ask you a little bit more detailed questions right now, but just so it makes everyone clear. So now, when we've just clicked that broken link button, how many broken links is it showing us right now for Samsung?
It's showing us 4,168 pages of broken links, not 4,168 links, but actually pages full of them, which every single page contains 50 different URLs. So.
Right. So in essence, we've probably got for certain over 12 or 1,300 domains sitting there, right?
Exactly.
Great. All right. Do you guys understand that? Give me a 3. What that means. It's pages, not websites. So after a while, guys, after you guys kind of pillage through this, you're going to have to get creative with companies. So that's why there's plenty for us to get from right now.
Yeah. And there's always some that come through the cracks too. So.
Sure.
But what I recommend for anyone in OMG starting out, I would recommend them scraping relevant to their niche, because authority sites are nice, but like I said, everyone scrapes them. So, and not only just that, but the thematic relevance within the PBN is what's going to give you a bigger boost in the SERPs anyway. So you might as well be scraping, so if I was like, I'm trying to rank for a mesothelioma lawyer or something, I would want a PBN from WebMD.com, right? Or whatever is the most authoritative in that niche.
Sure.
That's one thing I would definitely recommend, because not only, we're all in this to make money, so you might as well get the biggest boost in the SERPs as you can if you're going to go through doing all this, right? Even though it's fairly simple. But
Sure. Kind of like if you wanted a plumber, you might want the biggest toilet manufacturer in the United States. It's got a lot of DA.
exactly. So
Sure.
it's all about creativity and putting in what's relevant for your business. And that's what's going to help your business the most in the long run.
Great. Please continue.
All right, so after we do this, we come over here. So once again, enter the website. Come to outgoing links, broken links. Come here to export. Okay, and I just select for Microsoft Excel because I have that on my Mac, and then I hit Start Export. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to prepare the CSV file as you see up here. I then come up here to the upper right-hand column, and I download the broken links, and I open them with Excel. Okay, so hopefully everyone's following along so far. You can see some Chinese anchor text here. That's kind of funny. Obviously, because Samsung's not an American company, but I then delete everything I don't need, okay? So we'll do this, delete. Okay, so we only want to be left with the link URLs. I'll actually do it right this time so you can see how it's done. I just forgot a column when I did it last time. So you delete everything except the URL list. Once you're left with only the list of URLs, I then do Control A and Control C. Okay, then I go from there and I head over to URL to domain.com. I'll copy and paste that link list in there. Make sure these 4 are selected, which is remove duplicates, keep entries, ignore URLs starting with an IP, include subdomains, and I hit URL to domain. Okay, so then it's going to spit out right here underneath where I entered it. It's going to spit out the deduped list of the domains. So then I copy and paste this list, and I throw it through another deduper check. Okay, and this is esqsoft.com/tool/dedupe/list, or -list. So then at this point,
Just to slow it down just to slow it down.
Sorry.
Josh, just one second. When we go back to the URL to domain, how many links did that find from Samsung?
It found about 4,615 URLs.
So 4,000 guys. Do we even need 4,000 links from Samsung?
No.
I mean, right. That's like what I'm saying. All right. I just wanted to let them see that there's 4,000 links from Samsung. That's just one company. Imagine all the other companies that we can go through. There's literally, Josh, millions of links out there like this, isn't there?
Yeah, and like I said, their scraper scrapes every 15 minutes. So, it's constantly updated with new URLs, and there's constantly domains being dropped. So there's no need to wait and auction. You can find way better domains, utilizing this method with higher metrics too as well, for free, pretty much. So.
Great. Please continue to the other step. Thanks.
All right. So what I do then is I copy and paste the URLs. I send it through the deduper. Okay, one more time. So I hit line feed and I hit dedupe. Okay. So then I take this URL this URL list, copy and paste it, and I go to either Dynadot, which is their bulk domain availability checker, or I go to Ninja SEO Tools, copy and paste it, and I hit check domain. Okay, so what this is doing right now is it's going out, checking all the domains, seeing which ones are available for me to go and register and use as a PBN. So I also use bulk domain search with Dynadot. So you can copy and paste them in here. Hit this button, I entered fully qualified domain names, and then just hit search. And so what this is going to do is it's going to go out there and see this. Basically what we've done is we've exported these broken links from these high authority sites. We've trimmed them to root. We've deduped them. and now we're making sure they're available. And after they're available, we use bulk availability, or not bulk availability, but after they're available, we use bulk analysis tools such as Majestic to determine the high trust flow, etc.
Hold on, can we roll back to checking it? So we really ended up with about 252 domains right now.
Right. So,
And then if we can scroll down and see what we've came up with, how many were we able to, there's one right there.
there are a
There's
lot
two.
that are available. And
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see more available than not. Like this just keeps going down and down and
Right,
down.
sure.
And there's
Sure.
more available, you know. So, but what you can do, what's cool with this is once you're here, you can actually export this data, and it exports only the available domains. So right here is what we are left with, okay? So this right here, if we're interested in what this is, we can go to wordcounter.net just to show you guys how many we just found. Okay, so we just found 1,240 domains that we can go and register from Samsung.com alone. And so now it's just a matter of plugging them into Majestic, or what you can do is I also use URL Profiler, okay? And this will go and analyze all the URLs for you. So, and we can throw in a module about that if you want as well, but you could also just throw it into Majestic itself. And the way you do that is you just go to Link Map Tools and then bulk backlinks. And then this is what's going to allow you to check in bulk what they are. You keep the trust flow ones, and then if you want, we can go on to how I check for spam. I just want to make sure everyone can follow this so far.
Guys, if you're following along so far and that was helpful, give me a 4. You ready to go? Everyone gets it.
All right, cool. That's awesome, because everyone on here is smart.
That's right.
So, you know, and then I'll check like DA and stuff and all that good stuff. You can just go to Open Site Explorer or, you know, Moz, check the domain authority. And then for spam, I typically check archive.org, which is a site you can just go and enter the domain. And I have a VA do this as well, but he just goes through and he makes sure that, you know, whenever he pulls up a good domain, you know, it's not some Chinese anchor text page trying to sell, you know, whatever, like Asian escorts or whatever, right? So this is an example.
Or
So
old
this
PBN.
is too spammy. What'd you say?
Or old PBN. That's a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to look out for this type of stuff, and if you didn't do this, you would never know it was on it, really. So it's really wise to go through this and check each individual one. I mean, this one obviously has a lot. That'd be a nightmare to check, but have a VA do it. And most of the time, you don't even need that stuff. Like if you just put in a normal URL, you don't even need to do that. So that's pretty much all you guys need to do to check that, and you'll find some good domains. As far as checking actual domains for spam, what you're going to want to look for is a consistency between trust flow and citation flow. So if I come across a domain that's like, you know, 5 trust flow and 99 citation flow, I'll know that there was some manipulation there being done in most cases. So you want to look, if I had like, you know, you want to look for at least half the amount of trust flow as you do citation flow. That's about the rule of thumb, wouldn't you say, Derek?
Yeah, that's what I recommend. Is
That's what I go by.
Yeah, it's
So,
the
I mean,
maximum. Whenever you can get equal, it's even better. But
yeah, exactly. So,
Right. Guys,
yeah,
let me
we're
ask you a
actually
question.
more trustful than citation.
Let me ask you a question.
Harder.
Guys, give me a number 3 in the chat box if you understand and know what Wayback Machine is. I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Who has never seen this page right here? Give me a number 2. Okay, everyone. Well, there's a few people. Josh, could you go into a little bit more in depth because we do have some new people on here. Can you explain why this site's so important and exactly what it is?
Okay, so Wayback Machine is a service that's more or less free, offered by archive.org. And what it does is it basically documents what a website looks like over time. So what you're seeing here in this graph are the years, and what you're seeing is what the website looked like before you owned it. So if this was an expired domain, I would plug the expired domain into this right here, and I would hit Browse History. And then what I would do is I would look through these charts. You can click on these individual charts. And then from that point, I would then click on the blue, and it will show me what it looked like. So for this instance, we have google.com. So if I wanted to go back to 1998 and see what google.com looked like, I could go here, and it will show me a snapshot. Right? So that's what Google looked like before we started taking advantage of them.
So guys, in essence, not to confuse you, this is a time machine. It'll literally let you go back and see what its site was before you buy it. So you can find out if there's any pornography on there, if there was just anything that you just don't want to be involved in. So just kind of look at, that's why it's called a Wayback Machine. So when you get an old PBN and you plug it in there, this is went and taken snapshots through the website's history. And you can go back and it's like looking at pictures of what it's developed into and what it's become. It's a very powerful tool that you can go back and look at things. So give me if you typed into only those that have typed in a 2, if it's clear to you now, give me a number 3. Give me number 3 if it's clear now. Great. Yeah, we got all 3, so you did your job, Josh. Everyone understands it.
All right, I've got a group question then, so that we all kind of understand what spam is and how to look out for it. So this is a domain I searched for, pbns.com. I wasn't sure if it was an actual site or not, but it turns out it was. Okay, so utilizing this tool, it takes me to this URL. I've got a question for everyone. Is this spam or is this not spam? Because I want to make sure everyone has a good definition of what spam is, because it's kind of a term thrown widely around that, you know, could mean various things. But
yeah, it looks like it was just parked for sale for a long time.
Yeah.
Guys, give me a number 1 if you thought that was spam.
We can also find a better example, I'm sure. But I don't know if this is even a real.
Guys, nobody thought that was spam. And a lot of people say they're not sure.
Exactly. Okay, so so spam basically, I mean, I guess if you go to the heart of it, it goes back to white hat versus black hat, but more or less, you know, spam is doing anything against Google's guidelines, which is pretty much everything. So, ironically. So, but what I mean by spam specifically, what I mean is high commercial intent and manipulation. So, you know, you're looking for things like, you know, links created with automated link building tools with very few content or really messed up content. Typically, you won't find that much utilizing the method that I'm showing you guys, but because you're going to be using high authority sites anyway, but you never know. I found some really crazy stuff on like the W3C. So I don't recommend scraping that one, but what you're looking for, like I said, is consistency between trust flow and citation flow. You're going to want to look for around the same amount of referring IPs as you see domains. Typically, I mean, there's more, it goes more granular, but and anchor text percentages, you want to be aware of anything that's like, you know, buy Louis Vuitton handbags now, or, you know, Viagra, or whatever the spam may be. So as long as you look up with that and it has plenty of branded anchor text and you're not really over-optimized for anything, I would recommend checking the backlinks themselves.
Hey, can you just go to like to the summary page? People are already still confused about trust flow and citation flow.
Okay. So you know, so an example would be if the citation flow exceeds the trust flow more times than not, it's spam. I mean, obviously there's a rule, you know, there's every so often it can be changed, but typically at first glance, if it has like, you know, 75 citation flow and 0 trust flow, that's typically spam. Yes. So anything in that ratio, what you're looking for, the golden rule of thumb, as I see it, from what I've experienced, is, you know, more or less the same amount of trust flow as citation flow, or at least half of that, half of the citation flow.
Yeah, maybe can I get a, how many people do you not know what trust flow and citation flow difference is?
Guys, maybe
number 1 if you don't know what the difference is.
Maybe something simple. Citation flow is just the speed of links coming into the site. It's the velocity of links hitting that site versus the trust that it has. So,
right, so maybe I can explain it a little bit better. Okay, so citation flow is just, it's kind of like, it's almost like page authority and domain authority. It's always just going to increase, okay? Citation flow, every time you get a link, the citation flow is going to go up. But whether or not that link is trusted or not, the trust flow can go either up or down, okay? So if you're getting lots of links, but they're not from trusted sources, your actual trust flow can actually go down, where your citation flow will just continue to go build up, and higher and higher. So citation flow is basically power. It's a number of links. You can have, don't think that citation flow is bad. Obviously, Google, in Wikipedia, they have citation flow of close to 100, right? Because they have lots of links. But trust flow is kind of like the equalizer, defining whether or not that link is good or bad, right? So
Yeah.
Is that helping clear out some people? Like, so the ratio we want to get is a minimum of a 1-to-2 ratio. So the minimum, if you had a trust flow of 1, the max you want to have is citation flow of 2. But the guideline I like to say is not to have anything lower than maybe a 10 for trust flow. So 10 and 20, 10 trust flow, 20 citation flow is kind of where I want to be at the minimum. And anything higher than that is really good. So like a 10 and a 10 is better than a 10 and a 20. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But a 20 and 20 is better. It gets even better because you're getting power and trust.
Guys, if that makes sense, give a hashtag clear on the Facebook group. Hashtag clear if you understand trust flow a little bit better. Let's make sure that everyone knows it.
Yeah. And for people that might have a hard time understanding it that are new, just keep in the back of your mind that the more trust flow, the better. As a rule of thumb, and typically don't go under anything lower than about a 10 trust flow.
Yeah.
So those are some basic guidelines in case anyone's new that can just go ahead and implement this without thinking about it too much.
So, but if you're buying a trust flow of 10 and the citation flow is 40,
yeah.
you want to stay clear of that site because there's going to
so
probably
about
be
a 1-to-2 ratio for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be GSA or something like that, which is really hard to control. But
well, that's only if they know what they're doing. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Well, I mean, trust flow can be manipulated, but it's a lot harder, and there's a lot fewer people that know how to do it. So
yeah,
trust is a lot more. It's a better link, right? So trust is literally means how many hops are away from a trusted site. So the further away you get from a trusted seed site, the lower the trust flow is going to be from that link.
Right. So I see a question in here. It says minimum DA that you go by. That's another thing I was going to mention that I forgot to mention. I mentioned I check it, but you're going to want to come into opensiteexplorer.org, or you're going to want to go to Moz. Same thing. You're going to go off a domain authority, and typically this is what I basically look at, and this goes back with PR and everything else, so, and trust flow and citation flow. So typically, I want my DA to be synonymous or as closely related as possible to my trust flow. So if it's like a trust flow 30, ideally it would be a domain authority of 30 as well, within that range, give or take a few. Okay, so to answer that question, I typically try to make sure that it at least mirrors, if not more, slightly than my trust flow. So if your citation, or if your trust flow was 30, once again, the typical rule of thumb is DA 30, and if it's a really old site, it might be showing like a PR 3. So just try to take it in that type of concept.
That makes sense to everyone?
Yeah. You're also not going to get super high. It's really hard to find like DA 40s and DA 50s with this method. These are expired domains, and most of the really high ones end up going to auction, right? So
yeah. So someone else asked how many from a super site like Apple. The answer is, I think there was 12,000 pages. So and each page contains 50 broken links. So you could go to Apple right now, first come, first serve, I guess, after this. But
sure.
But you can also sort that. You were able to sort that out by. You can pick out just the ones that are do follow and no follow links there too. So
yeah.
If you want.
Well, let's not make it super complicated. They've got a lot of information right now to decipher. guys, if you've literally enjoyed this webinar 100% and you really want Josh to do a module on this, I want you to give me hashtag please Josh. Please Josh. I want him to show him that you guys want this module up there. Josh, you're getting inundated with all this stuff, buddy. You're just getting hammered.
Yeah, getting a lot of command center questions. I don't think command center does that. I think they use ARFs, but they only use certain functionalities of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And most people don't even know about that.
Right. So definitely. Definitely. Josh, if you can see my screen right now, if you got it back up, because I took back over the screen, you can see how it's all flooded in, man.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
Yeah, dude, you're instant superstar, my friend. Instant.
And I also, after the recording, I have an awesome trick to show that you can do with this.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Well, hold on.
Hashtag after credits for after this.
Yeah, okay.
just hold on. So guys, Josh, I'd like to know I had a chance to talk to you quite a bit. This isn't all you've got to show us. You've got how many other things that you could show us over the next few months?
Oh man, millions.
Yeah, lots. Great. Yeah, so guys, trust me. I sat and listened to him. Just a wealth of different things going on. Him and I were trading stuff back and forth. He's trading stuff with Jimmy. He's like trading stuff with Greg back and forth. I'm telling you, he's one of the heavy hitters that knows what's going on. So with that, guys, you know, I don't want to keep everybody up too late. So with that, please thank Josh. Thank him and make him feel welcome. Guys, I brought it up before. Here's his Facebook page right here. If you haven't, go friend the guy. Let him know you appreciate him. Send him a personal message and say, hey, man, thank you very much. The best part about Josh is this. He's from St. Louis. He's a Cardinals fan and a Rams fan and a St. Louis Blues fan. That's what even makes him more incredible. Right, Josh?
Yeah, for sure. I love those things for sure.
Right. So it's like good stuff. But guys, I don't want to keep you up all night. So is there any other questions that anyone has? I'm just going to check the box one more time. So great. What we're going to do is that we're going to say goodnight to everyone. And, you know, next week we have an incredible webinar for you. And we are going to have a special guest that we're going to be announcing over the weekend, and I'm going to hold you there. It is going to be another mind blower, and it is going to be just as powerful as this. So with that, I just want to say good night to everyone and see you soon.